Here's the problem.
Okay.
Hey, Nutty. But she's really good with people, though.
She is.
Hi. Come here. This is Peanut Butter.
Hi.
That is
She's
Peanut.
very pleased to be out.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't like to be back there, but she's back there for a reason. The majority of the time, she is back there.
Can I go see her?
Sure.
The fact that Peanut Butter is being locked up really in the pool area for probably what amounts to most of the day really contributes to her hyper behavior.
Bored and frustrated by her lonely situation, Peanut Butter has found other ways to entertain herself.
And this is all the stuff she's tearing up, the lights around the pool, and all the little pieces. I know that's probably dangerous.
It's glass.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I was really shocked when I was walking around the pool because I picked up what looked like glass on the ground. And it's where Peanut Butter has eaten one of the lights by the pool. And there are big, sharp pieces of glass and plastic all around. I mean, this is highly dangerous.
With the family in a standoff, daily chores such as walking are left for Tracy to handle alone.
So she knows exactly where to go.
Okay.
But you can tell it's not fun. This is not the way a walk should be.
What happens if you gave her a bit more leash? Would she just pull
I'm
you?
afraid to. I'm afraid
You
to.
are.
I feel like it would wrap around my body, and it would wrap around something. She's just
Okay.
too out of control. I don't trust her enough to give her that leash.
Right. Okay.
And right now you can hear her. She's choking herself.
Choking.
We've gone like 5 feet,
Yeah.
and she can't even breathe.
Peanut Butter is literally choking herself on a walk, and it is unpleasant for her. It's just being outside is so stimulating, she's going to take that pain.
A couple of minutes, I'm winded. I thought myself pretty tough, but this dog is definitely winning. This, she doesn't want to go in. Okay, come on, Peanut.
Victoria has seen enough. The next step is to get Peanut Butter out of her confined space.
When I observed you walking with her,
Peanut, come over here.
she was pulling you, pulling your arms out of your sockets. I also noticed that Peanut Butter was choking herself. That's why we're using the head collar. I'd like you to put a treat on the other side, so she has to put her nose through to get the treat, okay? Because the head collar's a new feeling, it's strange for a dog to have it on the first time. Some dogs really, really fight at it. So when you desensitize to the head collar, you pair the head collar up with something really tasty, like chicken, the dog begins to look forward to have the head collar on. Make sure that it lies
Did I do it right?
just behind the ears.
Okay.
Come on, good girl. Yes. So now she's
that's
not
it.
really even fighting it.
That's
I mean,
better than the
she's going
choking. I'm shocked. I'm really
Very
shocked.
good.
With the head collar in place, it's time to hit the road.
Now, you should always keep it underneath her, never over her head.
Okay.
So that's not good, yeah?
Unfortunately, they don't get very far before Peanut Butter starts to resist.
When we took Peanut Butter on her first walk with the head collar, she was fighting it. When she does that, just stop her from doing it. Up, up,
Oh,
up.
okay.
Now what I'm gonna do is when she pulls me, I'm just gonna stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for her to relax a little bit on the leash. And when I feel that relax, that leash, go slack, good girl. I'm gonna praise her and I'm gonna walk with her. If it goes again, I'm gonna wait for her to relax a little bit on that leash. Good. I just hope that over time, and with continued desensitization to the head collar, that she'll be able to enjoy many walks with Tracy.
Yeah, she's doing good. Good, Peanut.
How is this working for you?
This is amazing.
Before she leaves for a few days, Victoria hands out homework.
First challenge is to walk. Peanut Butter
Yes.
as much as you can. Take her out.
Peanut Butter should get a minimum of 2 30-minute walks per day. Tracy and Lindsay decide to take Peanut Butter for a walk.
Usually I give you snacks, but let's see if we can do it. Come here, Peanut Butter. Come here. I know this is going to be our battle.
Tracy, I told you to use treats when putting the head collar on. It's really important to keep desensitizing Peanut Butter.
Without treats to entice her, Peanut Butter is not cooperating.
Come here. Come on. Yep. Come here, Peanut. Come on, you did so good with that, honey.
Making matters worse, Tracy can't seem to remember how the collar works.
The worst technique was the head collar. I thought I had it, and it just didn't work. And I felt like, okay, I got it at first with Victoria there. Now that she's gone, I'm feeling kind of stupid about that. So good with that. So good. What a good girl. What what a good girl.
Now what?
Oh, well, I don't know. There's an eyeball there. Let's just see. I know. I'm losing you. I know it.
Oh, peanut butter, you must be so uncomfortable. Tracy's got that head collar completely the wrong way around.
This is going to be fun. You want to try it? Would you like to walk? We finally got it. She's fine. She's just bored right now, so that's what she does. Come on, Peanut Butter, let's go, honey. Come on, let's go, Peanut. Come on, sweetie. Come on, Peanut. Come on, Peanut. No.
I think that the most challenging with Peanut Butter has been the walks.
Come on, Peanut Butter, let's go, honey.
I don't think we did it right at all.
Come on, Peanut. Did you just get out of it? Yes, you just got out of it.
Having escaped from her collar, Peanut Butter is back in control.
Okay, look at the difference. Now you do that, and you can see her choking.
And Tracy is helpless.
Right back to your habit. Right. No way. See?
This walk is a disaster.
She will not put it back on right now.
Looks like I better get back to the Meltzer family. People look at this thing and they go, what is this all about here? I'll show you. The thing is that you pull it up like that.
Ah, so simple.
So now let's put it on. I'm going to give it to you.
Are you going to hold her?
I'm going to hold
I'm
her.
going to pull it down. So this goes up
Yes.
like this.
Yes, and so you put the treat
feels
on the
better.
other side.
And then this way.
That's it. So she puts her nose through the loop.
I got it.
That's it.
It's important to pair the head collar with the treat each and every time so that Peanut Butter becomes completely desensitized.
I think it was just the fact that I did not pull it up. That looks good.
Try walking her now. Just walk her up and down here.
Now that the head collar is properly fitted, Victoria wants to show Tracy how to take control.
That's a pull. That's a real pull. So
That
you
was a
stop there.
This car's going by and she's not doing anything.
She's not
so
lunging
that's
at the
good.
cars.
So
which
go
is
ahead.
good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell her, good girl.
Good girl.
Remember,
Good
always
girl.
praise the calm behavior. What is that?
2-year-old Doberman Daisy is scaring away guests.
She's a 70-pound Doberman, almost all muscle, so a lot of people get really freaked out by it.
So, are all guests greeted in the way that I was?
Yes.
Because she first of all came up to me and then she retreated. So she
Exactly.
greeted me, said hello, but then she was growling.
She does that all the time to people that she only knows a little bit.
Okay.
She's just turned 2 years old. I bought her as a surprise. I saw an ad somewhere, some classifieds, someone was selling Doberman puppies without papers, so it was a little bit cheaper.
Right?
That old one. You have to be extremely careful. There is a really big difference between a responsible breeder and a backyard breeder who doesn't care about health and temperament. The more money the guy's gonna get, the more he's gonna breed his dogs. Okay, and you brought her home, and when did you first notice these behaviors starting?
She was a puppy. I mean, we didn't really notice it that much when she was younger because she didn't really get out much until she had over shots, so she wasn't really around other people. And she didn't really bark as much when she was really younger.
Okay, if a puppy doesn't have a whole load of great experiences around people and other dogs, then fear can start to come in.
Mike has invited his cousin Scott to visit to show Victoria why they are nervous hosting guests at their house.
He's a little scared of a Doberman. I think it's because he's intimidated. She feels his intimidation.
The name Daisy seems to be polite, nice, and sweet. She is, to me, not any of the above. Hi. Huh?
Oh,
Isn't she adorable?
No. Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't put, I just don't want you to put
Okay,
your hand.
okay,
Just in
yeah.
case. Daisy doesn't have a bite history, but I think if she was put in the position where she feels very threatened, I think she could react by lunging and biting at somebody. So Scott, you get this reception then when you come in?
Well, it doesn't matter who's there, dogs or people. This is the reception I usually get.
Yeah, okay, okay,
So,
okay.
you know, this is normal for me.
Okay. So what do you feel like when she does growl at you? She's not comfortable.
She's trying to communicate that she doesn't like me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's get communicated, this dog.
And do you like her? Do you have a relationship with her? No.
I love her. You know, it's just whenever she sees me, this is tough love she gives me, which is, you know, kind of a warm fuzzy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael's cousin, Scott, came over, and it's clear from the start that Daisy does not feel comfortable with him. Daisy is nervous when people come into her territory, and so she reacts accordingly. Oh, no, she's grumbling, isn't she?
She won't stop.
She won't stop. How does this affect your social life?
I'm guessing, I mean, people won't tell us outright, but they probably don't want to come over as much because of
Scared of her behavior.
Because of Daisy. They're a little scared. I mean, we know she's not gonna do anything, but it is still really intimidating for almost everyone.
Okay, all right.
Hannah and I are coming up on our 1-year anniversary, and we were thinking of having a party, but it may not be a good idea because it just may be too stressful for everyone.
If they want to get their dog's problems under control, they'll have to get with Victoria's program.
First of all, Daisy. If you're going to get a purebred dog, and you're going to go the route of a breeder, you have to do very, very careful research, because the difference between a good breeder and a backyard breeder is massive. The really good breeder knows that the time between 3 to 5 weeks old, when that puppy is beginning to understand about social bonding, the good breeder is the person that nurtures that. Research has shown that 44% of dogs that haven't had the adequate socialization time before they're 16 weeks old can go on to have aggressive and reactive response in adulthood.
Thanks. I guess I didn't really think too much about it before. I thought that puppy mills were the worst thing ever, but the way she put it, I mean, even these backyard breeders are still pretty bad.
Then there is the fact of visitors. You want to have your first anniversary party, but you can't, because you've got a dog that essentially has already got a label on it.
Yeah.
Doberman, oh, that's a big guard dog, that's scary. So of course people are freaked out and they don't want to come to your home, but that's sad.
Victoria wants to address the dog's anxiety around visitors with a little help from Michael and Hannah's friends.
I want to put a training in place that's going to help Daisy recognize that people coming into the home that are invited are okay. What I've got for you here is that you are going to have a treat bag. And what you're going to do, you're going to throw the food on the ground. Basically, she's going to associate you with food. Oh, okay, so you're cool. Also, this is going to be the bag you're going to hang out on your front door for guests, because there's also a toy. But I think the most important thing is you don't have to say hello to her. You don't have to greet her. You don't have to touch her. Totally ignore her. She's going to come up and smell you. She is not going to bite you. So we'll start with Nina first.
Good luck.
I know that Daisy's nerves are gonna get the best of her when, you know, guests knock on the door, because she just always does that.
You can hold her. That's it. Hold her back.
Come on in.
They're just excited. Hi.
As I walked into the house with the toy and the treats, I think it still made me a little bit nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen at that point.
Just throw, that's it, so that she can see you throw.
The minute I started kind of throwing the treats, I saw the change in her, and it definitely made me feel a lot more comfortable.
There you go. Just throw it on the floor. Lovely.
Now it's Hannah and Michael's turn to coach Scott through the technique.
I'm a little nervous that Scott's coming in next, only because I know how Daisy is with him, and I think it may be a little bit harder to get her to relax around Scott, because sometimes just the sound of his voice just gets her growling.
Back, good. Let him get in.
Don't look at her. Take out a treat. Take out a treat. Just throw it.
There you go. Keep doing it. Beautiful, Scott.
She growled a little bit at Scott, but mostly she was focused on the food, focused on the toy, and it felt really good to have Scott in the house, sitting next to me on the couch, and Daisy wasn't focusing on Scott and trying to kill him.
I've never seen Daisy act so nonchalant with me. I felt love instead of hate.
She's going to regress at times, and I think you need to accept failure as part of this healing process, as it were, but you are on the right track. Whenever somebody comes through the door, Daisy gets wonderful things from them, and that, hopefully, in the future, is going to show her that guests that come into her house are okay.
For the first time since Victoria left, Hannah has a guest come over to practice the door training.
All right, so this is what you have to do. When you walk in the house, you need to not look at the dogs.
Okay.
Take a treat and throw it on the floor. Do it maybe like 4 times. All right, so here you go.
Thanks. Every time I come over, Daisy is crazy barking, so it just makes me really uncomfortable. I don't like to come over so much.
Go lay down. Daisy, shh, sit. Shh.
Hi. How are you?
Come in.
Hi.
Throw it on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, that's fine too.
Okay, that was a little better, but you really have to keep on top of it. You're allowing your dogs to jump up on the guests and you're not doing anything about it.
Oh.
One of the first things I noticed when I walked up to the door to see the family again was that there were no treats and not a toy out there for me to bring in for the dogs. Hello, I'm fine. But wait a second, where were the treats and the toys out there?
Oh my God.
Well, it's you. You're the treat.
Oh, good cover up, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
If I was a guest that Daisy didn't know and they'd forgotten to put stuff out there, then I don't know how she would receive.
Now that Hannah and Michael have accomplished all of Victoria's tasks, it's time for a trial run for a party.
Hey guys, do you want to come out here a second?
Okay.
Okay. What I've got out here, I have the toys here for Daisy. I've got the treats here for both of them. And also, here are the little instructions for guests when they come in. So everybody knows what they got to do.
Okay.
I'm going to take a stand back and I'm just going to watch what you do.
Okay.
If everything goes okay today with the dogs, then I wouldn't have any worries at all with having, an anniversary party or other parties at the house, because the dogs won't be an issue anymore.
Good. That's it.
Hi, come here. Hi. Don't look at the dogs. And if Cookie jumps on you, turn your back to her.
So throw the treats, Scott.
There.
There. Good, Scott.
I was pretty shocked that Daisy didn't even growl at Scott at all when he came in. Like, once he gave her the snacks, she just was looking at him like happy, and she just wanted the treats.
Just wanted the food.
Hi, how are you?
how you doing?
Come in, what's up? How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Lovely.
Okay, well, good. At least they're not barking at anybody.
Good.
It's pretty exciting. The dogs are ignoring everybody. Daisy's kind of just hanging around us. She's sniffing people here and there. You really don't know she's there.
What do you think of this?
This is awesome. I just love that Daisy hasn't been growling at anybody at all once they came in.
And she's relaxed enough
Yes.
to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
If Michael would have asked me about a month ago about the anniversary party, I would have said he's crazy. But now that Victoria's worked with Daisy, it's a good idea.
Everybody, thanks so much for coming. I'm so happy to have you guys here. It's nice and calm. Who wants cake? Right now from this test, I just feel like everything's been so calm and good and the dogs have behaved very well. So I think we can have more people here.
We had a neighbor come over today to visit, and the dogs acted very well.
I got some treats here.
Oh, okay. He did what he's supposed to do with the treats and the toys, and the dogs didn't bark at him.
Michael and Anna, I think you guys are doing very well with your dog.
Thank you.
She's acting very sweet.
I was very impressed by how well they behaved.
All right, well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
If you keep this up, you're going to be able to have the anniversary party you've been planning. And you can also celebrate how well you've done with the training.
Good girl.
On this episode of It's Me or the Dog, the Miola Altman family is being terrorized by their 2 bully breeds. Victoria will have to pull out all the stops
No, don't come with excuses.
before this bullish battle ends in tragedy.
No,
Sasha.
You have to step up and protect your children.
My name is Daniel. I live here with my wife, Randy, my 2 dogs, Sasha and Digweed, and my stepson, Ethan, and my daughter, Chloe. I love my 2 dogs, but I can't trust them. I'm afraid someone will get bit.
That's really my worst fear, that they're gonna do something to hurt one of the kids.
Back.
This is a favorite game of theirs. He likes to bring a sword and pretend sword fight. And when she's had enough, she breaks out the growling.
So they play this game quite often.
Yes.
I had such a tough time trying to hold my tongue while I saw Ethan prodding a sword at Sasha. I thought any minute now, Sasha's gonna have a go at him. So Ethan, do you like your dogs? Yeah? Do they ever get really scary? Do they go?
Well, Diggs doesn't. He just go ahead and bites.
Oh, he does. Has he snapped at you before then?
He bit me on the thumb.
He'd bit you on the thumb? These dogs are displaying behaviors that are very concerning, especially around the children.
If they start to demonstrate behavior that, you know, puts anyone at risk, I put them in the garage.
And it soon becomes apparent why the dogs need to be separated from the kids.
No,
Sasha.
Oh.
And that's a good example of why I separate her now, even when she's in her high chair.
Okay, separate her now. You can take her right out.
Come on,
take
Sasha.
Her right out.
That's bad.
When I saw Sasha growling at Chloe, that really, really worried me. It's a very serious situation when you got a big, powerful dog growling at a baby.
I'm worried about the kids' safety when they're tangling up and making the loud noises.
Okay.
And that's our biggest concern.
My biggest concern is not just that. It's the way you've allowed Ethan to play with Sasha. That is an absolute recipe for disaster. Chloe just reached out her hand at Sasha, and Sasha growled at her. No,
Sasha.
It's reached a point now where I do separate the dogs from the kids because it's just easier that way.
You have to step up and protect your children. And I believe that when the dogs are out, Chloe's up in your arms. If she's down on the ground in any kind of way, even if she's in a high chair, the dogs are away. So if you have a bully breed in your home, you have to know what you're doing with one, and you have to know what you're dealing with in order for that dog to be successful and that dog to be safe. The dog's behavior is affecting your lives, and the way you're dealing with it is to put them in the garage. Now you have children, of course you have to do that because the children have got to be safe. But if the dogs are spending more time in the garage, you then, as owners, have to step up to the plate and provide more outlets for your dogs. How can you care for them? Because you physically don't have the time. I am right, I'm right.
I just think I think there's a way that you could maybe make more time.
Yeah, well, you're gonna
have to.
You're gonna have to. You both are gonna have to.
She wants to make sure the dogs and the kids can coexist in the house safely.
I've got something for you, Daniel.
Oh,
I think this is gonna help you.
right. Oh, wow, thank you. Yes.
Gates.
Oh, that
Okay.
is so nice.
Now, I've got one here, and I've also got one on the other side. One of the things that has me most concerned with this family is the safety of the children. But it's unfair that the dogs spend so much time in the garage. I want the dogs to feel more a part of the family, but I want the children to be safe too. So that's why I've introduced baby gates. You're gonna call Sasha and Digweed, and as you go in, I want you to say in to the dogs, all right?
Sasha, Digweed.
Nicely. In.
Sasha, Digweed.
And walk in. Walk in with them.
Come on, come in. Come on, Sasha. Come on, Diggs. Come on, in. Come on. Good boy.
Good. Nice.
Good girl.
If the dogs see being in the kitchen as a positive thing, they're more likely to go in there. If you think the dogs are getting too crazy in here and you need to give them some quiet, calm time, that's when you put them in the garage. I really hope the gates are going to be really useful for the family. I hope they allow the dogs to become more part of the family. It's going to keep the dogs safe. It's going to keep the kids safe.
Good girl. Good boy.
Digweed may be showing more self-control, but he's not the only one that needs to learn to play nice.
All right, I want to show you something with the help of my friend here. Okay?
Okay.
I wanted to use a stuffed toy dog to work with Ethan so that I could show Ethan a little bit about what dogs like and what they don't like. Sometimes Sasha growls at you, doesn't she?
Yes.
Now, does she growl at you when you hug her?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Show me how you hug her on this dog. You go like that. Okay. Now, do you know that dogs only hug each other when they want to fight? So, when you, as a human being, go hug a dog, what do you think the dog's thinking?
Maybe that, you shouldn't be doing this.
What I want you to do is to stand still and get her to come up to you rather than you going into her space. And if you want to pet her on the neck here or on the back here. Now, I saw you when I first came here. You were playing with the sword and the shield.
I feel like we always have to be around to supervise.
She didn't like it. So I think there has to be a rule. No more playing with Sasha with the sword and the shield, okay?
I had a special time with Victoria. I am happy that Victoria came to work with our dogs. She is a really nice person.
The risks have been reduced, but to maintain a safe household, Randy and Daniel will need to continue the training on their own. Already, Sasha and Digweed are spending more time inside the house, and when Daniel wants them out of the way, he uses the in command to encourage them into the kitchen.
Come on, you guys. Sasha, Diggs. Hey, in. Good girl, Sasha. In. Good boy.
I've been really impressed with the training since Victoria left. We have been able to give it more attention than I originally thought.
I'm excited to see how Daniel, Randy, and Ethan have been doing with the training.
This afternoon, Daniel has decided to let the dogs out of the kitchen for some family time.
Hey, Tasha.
Wait a minute, why is Chloe there? I told them that whenever the dogs are out, whether they're training or not, she shouldn't be there.
Later on, Ethan's home from school and ready to play.
Where's Daniel and Randy? Ethan's only 7. They need to be reinforcing the correct way to play with Sasha.
And while he's left the sword and shield behind, without supervision, Ethan forgets another piece of important advice.
Remember, Ethan, you're not supposed to be hugging her. I think we're gonna have to come up with other ways for Ethan to play with Sasha. Chloe was out on her little bouncer. What was Chloe doing with the 2 dogs in the room?
That's just how she was awake at the moment.
What I had said to you is that whenever Chloe's on the ground, both dogs are out.
Yeah, I'll never be able to have a dog out then because Chloe's down from the moment I get home. When there's just one dog out, I can do this.
You can do that. If you feel like you can cope with Chloe and a dog, then that's up to you.
With the dogs doing well, there is just one other person to get on board.
I just wanted to have a little chat with you, okay? I brought this friend of mine to live with you. Would you like him to come live with you? There, he's yours. Now, there you go. Now, I'm giving you this gift because I want you to get all of your hugs out on the toy and not on Sasha.
Victoria gave me a dinosaur because she doesn't want me to get in a fight with Sasha.
Sasha loves you, okay? And there's no doubt about that. But sometimes she does growl at you. I don't want that growl to ever become a bite. Ethan promised me that he wouldn't hug Sasha and he wouldn't play swords. But at the end of the day, he's a 7-year-old kid. It's up to the adults in the household to make sure that he keeps his promise.
Ethan still has things he needs to work on, and it takes a lot of reminders with that, but hopefully we're going to continue to move in the right direction.
When I first came here, I saw that there were a lot of problems. And Randy, it does take quite a lot of effort to put the time in, which you've done. Your dogs are going to thank you. Ethan, you keep on getting your hugs out on your dinosaur and not on Sasha, all right? And Daniel, you have made amazing strides.
It makes me feel good that Victoria pointed out the good things that have happened and that we are making progress.
Wait.
I feel like our house is much safer now for our own children and also for visitors.
I am having a lot of fun with Sasha playing in the backyard. We are really good friends.
I'm Elise. I live with my boyfriend John and our 5-month-old exuberant puppy Raven. The biggest issue that I have with Raven is the nipping and biting. Hey, Raven. Raven's teeth are small now, but when she gets older, I'm not looking forward to her clamping down on my leg or on my arm.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? I'm
Hey,
Elise.
nice to meet you.
You too.
Oh,
This is Raven.
Look at this. Oh my So this is to close. Oh, hello. Whoopsie. I see that gate's effective.
Yeah.
She has some sharp claws on her. Ow.
Yeah, she does.
Immediately, Raven started to jump at me. She was also starting to nip me. And she grabs hold hard. Oh, I
Raven,
see.
off.
Wow. Wow.
Off. Raven, off.
When I sat down, Raven was all over me. She's very friendly, but she uses her mouth and she nips very, very hard.
And you can't even pull your hand out because it just rips on the way out.
It does rip on the way out. That kind of hurts, puppy. It's very normal for puppies to be mouthy and to chew things, but each time Raven's mouth went on my arm, her little sharp teeth dug in, and that hurts. Ow. Okay. Ow. I'm just one huge big chew toy, aren't I? This is really, woo.
Yeah.
Raven doesn't have any sense of boundaries. She's jumping up on me, John and Elise. She's biting my shoes, she's biting my clothes. Nothing that I can do can get this puppy off me. What do you do to discipline her when she is getting crazy like this?
We've tried holding her around the muzzle. We've tried rolling her onto her back. I've even tried biting her a couple of times so she would know how it feels.
You bit her?
I did, on the neck, but it didn't work, so.
I'm not surprised it didn't. I have never, ever heard of someone biting their dog in order to discipline them. That could be incredibly dangerous. Can I see what she does when you hold her around the mouth?
Just like this. And then I'll usually make her sit before I let go. Raven, sit. Sit.
Okay, so that was awesome. And what do you do?
Sometimes I'll grab her like this and just hold her.
Right.
And then other times, if she's acting up, I'll pick her up either by the nape of her neck or like this and pretty much stare at her until she stops.
Okay. Okay. John also tries to discipline Raven by holding her up above his head and staring into her eyes and shaking her around the scruff of the neck. All of this stuff's a moot point. Raven isn't being disciplined at all. Those methods of discipline have been ineffective. How do you play with her?
I normally like to just grab one of her toys.
Okay, show me.
Play with her. Hey, Raven, come on, come on.
But Elise isn't a fan of John's games.
I definitely think that John playing with Raven is one of the reasons why she's kind of aggressive playing. John is always riling her up and getting Raven to snap at him. When I come along and Raven's snapping at me, I'm not as able to deal with it as John would be.
Number one, she expresses herself with her mouth. It hurts. I've got all the scratches on my hand still to prove it. It hurts now, but when she grows into adulthood and she's orally fixated, wow. That is going to be very serious, going to be very, very dangerous. So we have to stop the behavior right now. It's very important for puppies to have play. But what is this all getting her riled up by playing with your arms in your hand? Encouraging her, saying, bite me, here are my hands, bite me. What is that?
I don't know, it's just the way I've always played with my dog.
You can't tell her off for nipping, yet encourage her to do that in play.
Victoria wants to instill a more constructive form of discipline in the house.
I want to stop her from mouthing so much and from jumping up. When I came here to observe, I was getting jumped up on when I was standing. Ow!
Yeah, she does.
When I was sitting. Ow. I don't want Raven to continue this behavior, especially into adulthood, because then it goes from being just annoying to being dangerous. So I want to do something that's going to address both the jumping and the mouthing. I want to do a removal technique. I'm going to use this. And the reason why I've got a chain leash is that when she jumps up to try and bite the leash, that's not going to be too pleasant. So I'm going to put her leash on. Yeah, don't feel good, does it? Mm-hmm. I'd like you both just to sit down on the sofa. Good girl. If she jumps up on your mouths you at all. Uh-oh. I just said uh-oh and removed her. Training a puppy should never be confrontational. You don't want your puppy to fear you by dominating it. So I'd like you to take over. I'm gonna come and sit down. Any mouthing, jumping up, biting, she's out, okay? Hi. Hi, sweetheart. Okay,
up, let's go. Let's go. I'd like you to say, so it's a really clear, different marker.
Victoria still wants the couple to give affection.
Come here, Raven.
But if she starts to mouth, she is removed before the behavior can escalate.
Nice, good. That's great, Elise, that's perfect.
After only a few attempts, Victoria's calm approach pays off.
Hi. Hi. Good girl. Hi, puppy.
After working with Victoria, I'm very confident that John and I will be able to train Raven to be calmer and to exhibit the good behavior that we want.
Now, John, I know you like rough housing, going like this, no more.
The very fact that he played rough with her was actually encouraging her to bite his arms and his hands. No more rough play.
The only interaction between you and her is nice, gentle stroking, okay?
Okay.
It's important to praise a puppy when a puppy's done well. Mark every single good behavior. If puppy is praised for a behavior, it's more likely to offer you that behavior again.
No more rough play. Redirect any chewing onto a toy. Practice with a chain leash the removal technique. You can do it when you're both here or if you have a guest come in. So good luck, and I'll see you in a few days.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very
You're
much.
very welcome. See you guys. Bye.
Back at home, Elise and John have invited a friend over.
Hey.
Hey. When I usually come over to Elise and John's house, Raven is always very prominent. She's trying to bite everybody, basically. All right. And we're
Down. Raven.
sweet.
Let's go. Let's go. The minute Raven jumped up on Walter, I pulled Raven off and told her down. I took her off to the side and waited for her to calm down before I reintroduced her to Walter.
Perfect, Elise. By removing Raven when she jumps up, shows her that there are negative consequences to that behavior.
Hot.
Okay. And I'm wet.
Sit. Good girl. It took a couple of times of removing Raven and making sure that she calmed down before we reintroduced her to Walter. But after maybe 4 or 5 times, she was able to just sit down and not try to bite or mouth him.
Good girl.
Yay.
Well, I almost don't know how to react to that.
I was definitely surprised at how calm Raven was, and it lets me know that I can bring people over now.
I'm so proud right now.
At the end of the visit, Raven is just laying on the ground, almost closing her eyes. It's almost like she's tired. I've never seen Raven tired before.
Look at that. It's nice to see Raven lying so calmly on the floor. What a difference her behavior is to when I was first there.
Since the training, Raven is a lot calmer. She's not as mouthy. She comes to us for affection without jumping up more often.
Stay.
She's starting to listen a lot more.
Veronica, the only thing you had to do was walk the dog.
With the dog's life on the line,
Get over it, because this guy needs it.
Victoria must get the family to take responsibility for their dog.
You don't do
I just don't bring a bag with me.
I'm too old and too cynical to believe stories like that.
The girls and I got Rocky 5 years ago. We went to the store. Veronica wanted him so bad. The reason I finally got the dog is because my daughters wore me down. A lot of the problem is my daughters also. They don't give him the attention they should. They do not follow through.
You don't walk the dog.
There's always going to be an argument or a fight.
Ever. Not once in your life have you ever
have to walk this dog. Never have to, but you do. They try every excuse under the sun by blaming me. You don't do and saying it's my fault and I don't do anything for him.
This is what the problem is. Well, wait a
It's
second.
your job.
I don't know what she does all day. She doesn't have a job. Shut up for a second.
Veronica.
My language.
They don't care enough about the dog to take him out when he's supposed to go out. But yet when he bites people, they want to keep him and they don't want to do anything about it.
You say you have 2 daughters. Are they here?
Yes. Girls, come on down. This is our Victoria, but we call her Tori.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
And this is Veronica.
Hi, Veronica. Hello. Nice to meet you. So, what is your experience of Rocky?
He was good when he was a puppy. Just like as he got older, he became very rambunctious, I guess.
I have to say, I really didn't want a dog.
So you wanted a dog?
They wanted a dog. They promised me that they would take over the responsibility.
So you don't do as much as you should be doing?
I mean, I should walk him when I come home from work. Sometimes I'm super tired. So I'm lax on my responsibility.
And what happens when you say that?
Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I do.
Yeah,
I know what I'm talking about, so you're gonna listen to me.
Okay.
Okay? That's why I'm here, to help your dog, to help your lives with your dog. And already I can see this is not going to be easy.
No, he's very
All
nervous.
hands on deck.
Victoria wants to see what happens on a walk.
So are you the one who walks him most of the time?
Me or my sister, but she's not home a lot because of school and work, so.
And what about your mother?
She never walks the dog.
She doesn't?
No, ever.
Why?
I don't know, but I just never, no, she just tells me to walk the dog, so I'll do it. I mean, it bothers me that she doesn't try and walk the dog, but she doesn't walk him, I guess, no.
Right. I don't think there's one member of this family that hasn't been lazy around Rocky. They're gonna have to step up their game 100%.
She's always dragging me like this.
Yes, I see.
And now he's pooping.
So even pooping, he's twirling?
Yes, he never stands still. Like, I don't know why.
Go on then.
Should I go inside and get a bag now?
Do you not bring bags out with you?
Yeah, I don't bring bags out with me.
So who's supposed to pick this up then?
I do.
You don't forget it's there. You don't not.
No, I pick it up. It's just that I don't bring the bag with me.
You telling me the truth? Do you pick it up every single time?
I am telling you the truth.
Okay.
I do. I just don't bring a bag with me.
Well, then you're going to have to go back and go get a bag.
Yeah.
Because we're moving from this spot.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't you leave him with me?
Okay.
Okay. She doesn't have a bag with her, so she goes back inside to the house to go and get a bag to come out and pick the poop up later. That is just not true. I'm too old and too cynical to believe stories like that.
Is he being good?
He's being very good. Oh, no. When he poops, is that it then? Do you then take him inside?
Yeah.
And that's the end of the walk?
Yeah.
That's not a walk. That's a toilet break. A quick out and right back in the house again. That's nothing for a dog like this.
Victoria wants to put an end to the family's finger-pointing as to who's to blame for Rocky's behavior and have them do what's best for their dog.
This is the thing, and I've heard your side of the story, and I've heard you girls' side of the story, and yes, collective, we got to do more. Now, this isn't even about that, because if you don't step up your game, it's not going to get better.
When a family gets a dog, it's usually the young kids that swear they're going to take care of the dog and they're going to do it, and the parents stupid enough to say, okay, I think that's the issue here.
You girls, how much actual work do you do? You speak to me and you say that, you know, you're the only really person that walks him and that you do most of the work with him. But would you agree with that?
You have to tell them every time to do it. It's not that Rocky's a thought when they wake up in the morning, let me get out of bed at 8:30 because Rocky should be going out. It's whenever I wake up.
Is your mum right? What do you do when you get up in the morning? Do you go to the bathroom? Yeah. Okay. So why is it okay for you to go to the bathroom but your dog not to?
Exactly, right.
Part of the responsibility, if you really wanted this dog, and I do believe, I'm sorry, it was 5 years ago, they were much younger. You did give in to them.
Yeah, I
You
know, I
allowed
did.
this dog to come into
I
your
said
house.
it was a mistake. All I do is fight with them over this.
Right.
And it's not fair to me.
No one really wants to accept responsibility for their apathy, and they've all been lazy with their dog. Every single one of them.
You have to make him a priority because it's stressing me out by having to fight with the two of you all the time about this. And it's stressing me and Frank out.
But I also think you're here during the day now. You have got to.
I know.
You've got to walk him. This dog needs a minimum of 2 hours running exercise a day. Without that, he's never going to succeed. You can give him all the meds you like. You can give him all the behavioral therapy you like. But if he doesn't get all of that angst out of him, nothing is going to work. I can tell you that right now.
We love Rocky, so I hope that we can all band together and help him.
So we have a lot of work, and we're going to start, and we'll see where we get to.
Victoria wants to hold the girls accountable.
Veronica and Tori have got to learn what responsibility is all about. I just want to show them how easy it is just to care for one animal. So, Veronica, Victoria, I want to introduce you to Sandy and Jennifer.
Hi. Thanks for coming to Animal Haven today. I'm not really sure what to think because downstairs it looks kind of like a pet store.
I brought you here to this shelter. I know that you begged your mum for a dog. You haven't been fulfilling that responsibility. Sandy, who's a staff member here at Animal Haven, is gonna show you all about responsibility. What you experience at home is nothing compared to what you're going to experience today. So after today, taking Rocky out for a few walks and cleaning up pee and poop's gonna be easy.
Did you bring any of the clothes? Because those clothes are definitely not gonna work. All right, so why don't you guys change, and then we'll meet you upstairs in the puppy room.
Okay? So go through there and get changed through there. All right? In the morning, when those puppies have spent a whole night pooping, it smells very, very bad. Hi.
Hi.
Come in.
Oh.
How's the smell?
It's disgusting.
Are you gonna be all right?
Yeah.
All right.
The puppy room, when I first got in, I wanted to vomit from the smell. Like, the stench was just, ooh.
So why don't you start on that crate, and you can start on the poop since you don't get your fill of poop, so let's get to it.
Yeah, girl, get your hands dirty. And because I'm very nice and I brought you masks.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna pick up some poop today. Yay.
Get right in there, pick that poop up.
I hate you.
So adorable, but they're just pooping machines, as puppies are.
They are.
Put muscle into it. Oh, you gotta, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. That's what this is for here. Squeeze, squeeze. All right. Don't you work out a little muscle on it. You gotta really do a good job. All right, that's better, much better. This is what it's like to, own a dog. It's not just all play. There's a lot of responsibility. They depend on you, to care for them, just like babies do.
Nasty.
Good job. Putting more muscle into it this time. That's good. Just step on it. There you go.
What kind of dog is that?
It's I think a lab pit mix. Aww. She appreciates what you're doing for her, trust me.
Aw, I'm glad.
I want you to just clean his paws up a little bit.
Okay.
See, they can't do this for themselves. This is, doesn't this make you feel good to be cleaning him up?
I feel like I'm gonna hurt him.
No.
He's so tiny. I actually am enjoying it here. It's a good experience to come here and learn from this. I do think that I get how to properly clean up after the dog.
Now here's your reward.
Aww.
Hold tight, and then you can put him back in there. See, that tail wag tells you thank you.
Are you used to it now?
Yeah.
Good on you.
She sits everyone down to see if they can change too.
Okay, so here it is. Da, da, da. I always believe in schedules and routines so that everybody knows what they're gonna do. So there is no argument. This dog needs routine because when he can predict things happening, he can cope. So I put here, Rocky's success depends on you. And I just want you to work out amongst yourselves each day what you could possibly do in that day. So let's start on the Sunday.
All right.
Who can walk him?
Since the only thing that they have to do for him is to walk him as much, because that's one of the problems we have. We do all the playing with him, and...
You mean Veronica don't play with him, you're saying?
Frank, what do you think?
Mom.
Not the type of attention that he should be getting.
Right. The only time he ever goes in the backyard is with me. The only time he ever goes is if Frank and my mother take him for long walks, because I'm allergic to everything, so the trees and the grass. And the playing part, even in the house.
If you don't mind me saying, I feel like since I've been with you, that you put the blame on everybody else not doing anything, but not yourself.
I feel like it's like I'm the only one fighting for this dog. The only thing I asked them to do is walk this dog. That's it. Last night, I couldn't even find either one of you just to take him.
Mom, I play with
Frank, did I not try to find them to walk?
I don't know what you're talking about. I walked Rocky at night.
Frank and Graham are right here, and they're saying exactly what I say. All right? I feel like I've been beat up by the two of you. Veronica, the only thing you had to do was walk the dog. I never asked you to buy his food,
that is not
buy his medicine,
you
take
don't
him
tell
to
us
the
to buy the
doctor.
food. Mom, but me and Veronica wash the dog, walk the dog, clean up.
This isn't like the
blame
That's
game.
what you do.
Hold on, this isn't the blame game. What we're here to do is come up with a schedule, not to argue and fight, because I know you like to fight.
Well, there it is.
But
Walk him. That's it.
Wait.
That's it.
You know what? You're all lazy, and you all need to take your dog out more often. I get where everyone's coming from, but let's just forget all about us and about what you're all doing or not doing. Let's forget about it. This poor animal has been stuck inside this house, only going on pee-pee walks for 5 years. It's not fair. So get over it and do it without argument, because this guy needs it. I want you to sort out who is going to be walking.
I'll feed him twice a day and I'll give him his medication.
I would like it if you could sometimes walk him. We're gonna do a little bit to make him more manageable on the leash, so he's not all crazy, so it's gonna be easier for you to handle. So now, who will be able to take him for a walk in the morning on Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday mornings, I'll take care of that.
Okay, so put, Frank, you can write this. Who can do his long walk in the morning at like 9, 10?
I can do it. I can do it.
Okay.
We all learned that it's not just one or two people who have to take care of Rocky. It's like a joint thing. It's a collaborative effort, Rocky.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, Rock.
Don't let anyone rub this out. Ronnie, you're in charge. It's been 2 weeks since I left the Geiger family, and I'm just amazed. What a change has come over, not just Rocky, but the entire family.
Come here, Rock. Life has improved so much since Victoria left.
I'm gonna take Rocky out now.
Good, because he just drank.
Everyone knows exactly what they have to do. It's not so much stress of, oh my God, who's gonna walk the dog? He's a good boy.
Bloody brawls are a daily occurrence.
If they were big dogs, I'd probably be dead by now.
Hostilities are at a boiling point.
One of them gotta go.
That ain't happening.
It's up to Victoria to broker a peace.
This has to change. I've made the behavior worse.
I don't wanna do that.
Victoria is the last hope, because if it doesn't change, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I might lose my relationship, because I don't think my girlfriend's gonna wanna be with me with 2 screaming dogs, and I can't get rid of my dog.
Usually, if I have them in a room together, I normally have to put the muzzles on them, because I just want to at least try to allow them to not be tied up, at least try to play.
Sheena likes to bring the dogs together every day so they can have some together time. I wanted to see what together time was all about, with an emphasis on safety.
See, that's the sizing up part of it, where they start staring each other down.
See? That one.
Yeah, she's ready. Okay, take her.
They know they got their muzzles on, so they want to go.
Incredibly, Sheena and Tiffany also allow the dogs to have together time without their muzzles.
We showed Victoria how we tied one of them to the coffee table and another one under the TV on a leash.
Ellie, no. No, Mama, no. I've seen enough of this. Yeah, let's put one back in the bedroom. I am shocked at what is going on inside this house. Sheena and Tiffany's approach to these dogs is all wrong. Tying them up, having them in the same room together, it's just fueling the fire. It's making things a lot worse. What happens if things don't get better?
Somebody's gonna have to go and get adopted. One of them gotta go.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening. No. What? None of them are gonna get adopted. You're not gonna give one up.
No.
So what happens if that?
I feel like them are my kids, them are my children, and you come into a situation where you have to make it work. You know, and people every day, parents have children that's bad. I don't see them giving their children away.
It's different. They're not
to
kids.
me, it's not different.
They're not kids. If they were children, I would never put my child up for adoption.
Well,
but
that's how you gotta look at it with this.
But a dog is definitely expendable. And if they don't go, then I guess I'll be looking for a room somewhere, or maybe I'm gonna have to move back where I came from and she could come visit me.
Tiffany threatens me a lot that she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that, but I just feel like she just needs to get over it, because I'm not getting rid of the dogs at all.
Now it's time for her to sit down and confront the girls with their issues.
I see the love that you have for these dogs, but I also see the disharmony that a lot of your treatment is causing. And this has to change. Both of these dogs are living in a very, very stressful environment. These dogs despise each other to the point that they want to kill each other. You've got two very feisty breeds here, a Dachshund and a Yorkshire Terrier, that were bred to kill things. And that's what worries me. You have fed your dog stress. You have made the behavior worse. You have managed it in a way that has caused it to get a lot worse. You have to understand, and I want you to be realistic, if this doesn't work, and if you can't manage the situation, you are going to have to open up your mind to the possibility of rehoming one of those dogs. Because their lives...
I don't want to do that.
I know. And I'm gonna really work hard and try and not have that, okay? I promise you. I'm pulling all the stops out on this one. But I want you to know, I want you to prepare yourself.
I mean, I know she'd be happy, but it's so hard for me to get rid of one. Like, I'm so attached to both of them. They're like my kids, and like, it's hard for me to do that.
It's something that you have to face up to. But as I said, I'm gonna work very hard to get your dogs to a place where hopefully that doesn't have to happen.
Victoria wants to start rebuilding their relationship in a neutral environment.
The reason why I brought her onto neutral territory is the house is associated with a lot of negative things between the dogs. And I want to basically get the dogs working together side by side.
Before Ellie can enter the picture, Victoria wants to start one-on-one with Nyla.
I want to show you clicker training. The clicker is a precursor to a reward. I'm charging the clicker up. Throw the food, click. Each dog is going to have their own clicker, and the click sounds of each clicker are different.
With Nyla responding to the clicker, Victoria has Sheena remove her to another room so Ellie can have a turn with Tiffany.
Hi. I want you to try this clicking and treating. I'll hold the leash.
All right. So I should click it. Good
That's
girl.
it. So it's always click followed by treat.
Good girl, Ellie.
Nice.
Good girl.
Perfect timing.
Now that each dog is responding to their respective clickers, Victoria wants to bring them together.
My goal is to get the dogs closer together and not reacting. Fights are more likely to happen in confined spaces. So I wanted the training to begin in an open space so that the dogs wouldn't feel confined and wouldn't feel threatened. Okay. Okay, ready?
Good girl.
Here. At the moment, Nyla is so stressed that she can't eat, so she can't focus on food. Good girl. Because she's too stressed to take food, I'm just telling her good girl for lying down. You can hear by the raspy panting that she's doing, good girl, that she's stressed. Up. Every time Nyla reacted to Ellie, we were out the door.
And the same rules that apply to Nyla also apply to Ellie.
Take her away as soon as she does that. If Ellie whines or barks, Ellie's taken away from the situation.
For 10 more minutes, the dogs go head-to-head.
It's really difficult to put a time on how long it will be until the dogs completely relax with each other. Ellie?
No.
Emotions take a while to change. Habits take a while to change. And the dogs need to be given time. Ellie?
Ellie is the first to remain calm.
Now, I want you to take this over, okay? Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now, the stress level's coming down. She's taking food. Let's move a bit closer. Obviously, we don't want the dogs to get nose to nose. Good. They come together, they go apart. They come together, they go apart. Good.
Finally, after 15 minutes, there's a huge breakthrough.
Good girl. You're working both your dogs in the presence of the other dog. Good girl. You're marking their calm, you're marking their non-reaction.
Wow. That's something I haven't probably seen her lay down in her presence since the first fight.
Look at her.
Look at her, exactly.
I felt my eyes welling up with tears when I saw that Nyla wasn't acting out. I mean, I felt emotional.
She's a good girl.
Wow.
If you would have caught me about a couple of months ago, this would never been a case. They would have been killing each other. It would have been no progress. Okay, so if you take her out now, and we'll follow a moment later. I feel very good at the progress that we've made, but I know that it's just a very, very small part of a massive, massive job.
Now, the pressure is on, as the two dogs are about to meet on home ground for the first time since training has started.
And this is going to be tough. This is the challenge. The real challenge. Okay, let's put Nyla back in first, get her safely situated, and then we'll bring Ellie. Normally, I don't like bringing the dogs in for a face-to-face greeting because it's very confrontational. But with these dogs, I had no choice. They're living in such close proximity, they have to learn that they cannot react. Now I go, right? Now you can.
With Nyla safely put away, Victoria wants to refresh the clicker training with Sheena and Tiffany.
We're gonna do exactly the same thing as we did in the larger space in here. Okay. Now, if she has a reaction, you go into the bedroom.
Okay.
Just hang there for 2 seconds, come back out again. I'm gonna be taking Nyla out that way. Okay. All right, are we all ready?
Good girl.
Right from the word go, Nyla can't relax. Even when Ellie's in the other room, she was stressed out. She couldn't concentrate. Too riled up.
As before, the clicker and treats are used to reward calm. But when they react, the dogs are removed.
Up, up. It's really important to cut vision off between these two dogs, because if it gets to the point where the dogs are reacting, they have to be removed from the sight of each other in order that they can calm down in order for the training to commence. She's not able to take food right at this minute. There's frustration being held. Good girl. Frustration being held back. Good girl, Nyla. Yay, good girl. Good girl. Each time she makes a decision to back away from Ellie and look at me, good girl, she gets a click and a treat. Nyla's showing really important progress. And it's gonna take a long time for her to feel completely relaxed in Ellie's presence. But for the moment, we're making significant strides. You gonna take over, Sheena?
Good girl.
Good girl. Very nice timing, Sheena.
Good girl.
Good girl, Nyla.
The fact that they was in the same room without trying to kill each other or without barking at each other, growling at each other, this was a big step.
Ellie's doing what could be construed as quite a tough stance. She's squaring up, but then she's choosing to back away, which is great.
Ellie.
Instead of reacting, they make the choice to look back at their owners or to turn their body away from the other dog.
Good girl, Ellie.
Good, Tiffany. That is a huge step.
Before, you saw they were just like trying to get each other, going crazy. They were further away than they are now.
Good girl.
I feel hopeful at this moment. I feel like there's nothing that we can't do with the dogs. I mean, the opportunities are endless. Good girl, Ellie.
Josie has had enough of Tony and his beloved German Shepherd.
Sasha.
I've never seen anything like this. Look at the door.
Joe, it's not a big deal.
This is our place, and it's being destroyed.
It's not being destroyed. I think Josie blows a few things out of proportion.
The chewing of the trees.
That's enough. Sasha, no more. No.
What dog does that?
She's gonna outgrow it.
Well, I want her to outgrow it now. Now. I want it now.
He's got blinders on, and he doesn't actually want to see what's going on. Sasha is completely uncontrollable. She's a terror. Okay?
She's not a terror.
Tone, you have to let me talk, okay? Because there's two sides to this. Okay. I have to put up with the damage. I have to put up with her barking and everything else, and I will go through all that. But to him, it's like, oh, beautiful, you know?
Josie seems to be the long-suffering wife. She has had it. So your frustration, damage...
I can show you. We have major damage. Look at the door. You see her claw marks.
Feel that, Victoria. Run your hands across that. Doesn't it remind you of a piece of driftwood?
No.
Nope.
Driftwood, yeah.
The elements, it's worn. It gives you memories, doesn't it?
Memories of what?
We'll take a picture of it and you can look at it anytime you want.
Who wants those kind of memories of their dog scratching to get into a door, ripping their place apart?
I will show you our biggest problem.
Okay.
See the door? Now watch when I open it. No.
Whoa.
Sasha, I can't, you gotta get her out.
Sasha. Wait, hold it.
That is my biggest problem. You don't understand. This is just like driving me nuts.
Does that happen each time she goes out?
Every single
Most of the time. Not
No,
every time.
it happens all the time, Tony. This is our home, so I have to live in our home with all this going all over the place, right?
Okay.
We gotta live with all this stuff here.
Simmer down.
This is our home, right? All right, so I gotta live in a pigsty.
If she would just learn how to release this negative energy, things would run a lot smoother in the house.
So much she's got a fascination with
Oh, my leg. Oh, she just ow.
Did she just, oh my gosh.
Okay.
I saw that.
We'll just massage that right now.
That is a nice little
She
memory.
didn't mean that. She didn't mean that.
No.
She got into the line of fire.
Tony took Josie's leg and was like, oh, brushed it off, like, no problem. No problem? That's a canine mark in his wife's leg. What planet is he on?
The couple wants to show Victoria another one of Sasha's odd behaviors.
Off. These are all her markings. All the way down the block, you'll see markings on every tree.
Oh my God. Look at this. I've never seen anything like this. Something has happened in her past where she's been maybe taught to grab onto something and hold it there, and she can't release. How long has she done that for?
8 months or so now.
How did she start it?
I started doing a little bit of personal protection with her. Not much, just a couple of months we were working. It was a little early for her to start on the sleeve, but it seemed like she had a real nick.
So you actually started her, so she's been on a sleeve?
She's been on a sleeve.
Yes.
And she was pretty good, got a full bite. Midair, helicopter her around a couple of times, doesn't let go.
But could you get her to let go eventually on command?
No, that's what we were trying to work on, and then I didn't follow through. But she wouldn't let go.
It might have started after that.
You don't mess with protection work. You don't mess with it, because it's incredibly dangerous if the dog bites and does not release. Unless you can devote most of your life to it, do not do it. Because otherwise, you can turn a dog into a ticking time bomb.
I'm always afraid that she's going to really bite me in the face or something like that. I've mentioned that to you before. I've mentioned that to you before.
I've seen it happen.
Because
believe me, he obviously loves his dogs, but I have to say, he's pretty clueless.
Now that Victoria knows the cause of Sasha's biting problems, she wastes no time tackling the couple's biggest flashpoint, the sliding door.
This training is going to be one of the biggest challenges with Sasha because the behavior with the sliding door and not letting go is deeply ingrained. I've got my work cut out for me here. I want you to start opening the door like this and then
Slowly.
back away.
Okay, just...
To begin, Victoria works with Tony to desensitize Sasha to the door opening.
Stand here, put your hand on the handle, open it a tiny bit.
The plan is to ignore Sasha's negative behavior. The door won't open if she barks or tries to bite.
Walk away from it. Walk away from the... You cannot give in to the barking. So this might take a while. We have to get to the point where she can calm down, sit and wait before we open the door.
Got it.
Sorry to your neighbors. This is a really, really tough habit to break.
I have to tell you, I don't know if I can deal with this.
You have to. We've got to get it in her mind. This is a different way.
I wanted to pull my hair out because that her barking just penetrates you.
When Sasha stops barking, Josie finally gets a break and training can resume.
Walk back. It's okay. Now I'd like you to put into a sit and wait in the middle here.
Come. Sit. Okay. Sit. Sit.
Not on the sofa, sit on the ground.
Not on the couch.
Sasha.
Tony, what I'm going to do is give you a bit of a treat. It's going to help you easier to motivate her. Enough.
Sit. Good girl.
Okay.
Now, let her wait.
Victoria has Tony use the wait command while opening the door slowly.
Wait, wait, wait.
There she goes.
No, that's all right.
Oh my
Don't-
God.
no, Tony, walk away. Josie was really distressed. Certainly not going to be easy for her to continue.
I'm mad. I'm pissed off. Every time she goes for the door, I tense up.
Try again, Tony. Stop up. Walk away from it. Walk away from it. Good.
Oh my God, you don't understand.
Let her wait.
Wait.
Throw a treat out.
Sasha, go.
Nice, nice. We did get to the point where the sliding door could open. She was sitting and waiting. We could throw the
Go.
treat outside.
Go.
Good, she could go out.
That was a major accomplishment. Wonderful. It was great.
I was pretty impressed with the door training already. I mean, I know it's gonna take some time, but I could see some promise already.
If we get this problem under control, are you going to replace the door?
Yeah, I would be willing to.
You would be willing?
I'm
No,
gonna
the door will be replaced.
Yeah.
I will be ecstatic when Sasha is completely trained and she leaves my furniture and my door alone.
This is, I think, becoming a bad memory.
The fact is, it's not a bad memory because it's a continual problem that you have here. Go get it, go get it.
Now Victoria wants to help Tony and Josie with one of Sasha's biggest problems, walking on a leash. Sasha lunges and pulls while trying to attack those nasty trees.
Sasha's had 2 years of pulling you. But the fact is, her pulling's always been reinforced because she's pulled and you've gone where she's wanted to go.
Yeah, including down a flight of steps.
Right, and that's tough. Sasha lunges and pulls so hard when she's out on a walk that I'm really afraid of her throat. Now, this harness is just to give you a little bit more control. It's a special harness that leads her from her chest. And what happens is she can still pull in it, but it's gonna help you a little bit. She's gonna be able to pull just a little bit less. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna walk along, and I'm gonna just try and control her a little bit. But she wants to get to that tree.
Right, that's what it is. She's got temptation as soon as she comes out.
As soon as she comes out.
As soon as
And
she
it's a
comes out.
habit for her now. So now you can see, if she's pulling, I'm pulling her around.
Okay.
Even though she's still pulling me, I'm pulling, good girl. And I'll pull around.
Kind of like training a horse, almost, you might say.
Kinda.
Yeah.
She pulls me, I pull her around. Good
Ah.
girl. Sasha's got to learn that pulling on the leash isn't going to get her anywhere. So this one, when you pull, tightens up around under her arms.
Okay.
Okay? Try, come over and take what I'm taking. No, she can't, that's it. Nope. You're walking in circles. Go. Keep walking in circles.
It's just like potty training. You gotta be persistent.
With her major pulling problem, it's going to take at least a couple of months to get her to the point where she can walk well on a leash. And that's every single day doing this. Not fun.
It's not gonna happen overnight. Although I want it to happen overnight, it's not, and I understand that.
For 30 minutes, Sasha lunges and tugs as Tony tries to redirect her behavior.
Really, you got to take charge of her. You got to be tough with her. That's it.
Good girl.
Nice.
Good girl, Sasha.
Nice.
Good girl.
Nice. You got focus there, which was the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. You can also here
Yeah, let's give her a
put
treat.
some treats in put your treats in whatever hand is easiest. And put it in front of her face and walk along with her.
Good.
That's
girl,
it.
Sasha.
There you go. You gotta look good. Good.
Good girl. Good
Nice.
girl.
Nice.
Good girl.
That's it.
Good girl.
Oh, beautiful.
Good girl, Sasha. Good
Beautiful.
girl.
That's
Good
it.
girl. That was nice.
Lovely. You are sweating like a bear. I know,
It's a workout.
exhausting.
Leash training was kind of like exhausting, but you know what? Sasha exhausts me anyway.
She was walking next to you like a normal dog.
Yeah, that felt good.
Right. Now, you got to try that for the whole walk. It's
Okay.
going to happen, Tony. It's going to happen. You're just going to have to work at it.
It will be done. Sasha will be trained. There's no doubt about it.
Wait. Out.
Yes.
Good
That's
job.
it. The fact that Sasha has not been going after the door has been a huge, huge improvement. I can scream it out. I'm like, yes, it's working.
It's been 2 weeks since I left Tony and Josie Buonsanto, and things have really improved for them. I just hope now that Tony can truly make amends for the damage he's caused.
And now we're gonna be replacing that door soon, right?
We're almost there, but soon, I would hope before the winter, we replace the door so we don't have to have a breeze coming into our living room.
Okay, we'll wait, but definitely before the winter,
Yeah,
we're
before the
replacing
winter.
door.
On this episode of It's Me or the Dog, Victoria tackles a herd of out-of-control chihuahuas.
Don't you bite me.
There's been over 100 bites.
And it's up to Victoria to rein them in.
Get back.
I'm Stacy from Long Island, and I live here with my 3 kids, Ashley, Hunter,
Wake Ashley up, please.
and Tristan, and my 6 rowdy chihuahuas, Beckham, Havana, Winston, Lola, Riley, and Aspen.
Oh my God.
The biggest issue I have with the dogs is the constant barking. They bark at anything and anyone that passes the front door or the windows.
One dog will bark, and then they all join in.
Be quiet. Shh. Aspen, Winston, back up. Enough.
We can't have any friends over at all because they all get bit.
Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. Oh my goodness me.
I walk through the door and there's a sea of chihuahuas barking at me. Hi.
That's Krista.
Hello. Hello. Nice to meet you. Goodness.
Oh, this is the pack.
And this? Why this?
Generally to keep people safe when
Okay.
they come in so that we can let them calm down a little bit and then let them in.
Very
And
good.
also,
Very good. Like it. As I walk through the gate, a big fat chihuahua jumps up and puts his teeth on my pants as if he's going to bite me.
Oh.
He nails my boot.
Don't you bite me. No.
This one and that one tend to bite like when people come in.
Yep. Enough. Good. Enough. Okay.
Maybe you want to meet the kids?
Yes, I do.
Guys, Victoria's here.
This barking is awful.
Hello.
These are my children. This is Ashley, Victoria.
Nice to meet you.
That's Hunter, my middle son.
Don't you dare.
And Tristan
Good boy.
is my youngest.
Hello, nice to meet you. No, I can already see one problem. How many people has he bitten?
How
many?
I don't, a lot. I can't.
A lot?
Yeah.
A lot?
He's bit me a
Like
few
how
times.
many? He's bitten you a few times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The recent one was he bit me like right on my hand.
What happens when your friends come over?
My friends are afraid to come over because they don't want to get bit.
We've kind of stopped that. My friends won't come in either. Their parents of the friends don't come past the gate. And most of them can't even stand the noise, so I'll meet people outside.
It's Me or the Dog presents Victoria's Show Secrets.
Stacy's Chihuahua Beckham gave me some special attention when I arrived.
Don't you bite me.
Turns out I wasn't the only one that got the Beckham welcome. Take a look.
Michelle got bit. It's pretty bad. Broke skin, so I don't know what you guys want to do.
Does it hurt?
Oh my God, he really got it good.
You got it good.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Beckham, you're not allowed to bite people. You're a bad boy.
We usually take people to the hospital to get shots. It's just to be safe, so let's go.
Victoria wants the family to get to work immediately on imposing a new condition of entry.
You have a friend waiting outside. I just want to see the dog's reaction. I want to see who starts it.
I pretty much expect that all the dogs are going to bombard him, jump on him, try to bite him, and then chase him all the way up to Hunter's room.
Yeah, so let him ring the bell. Okay, so you go down and answer it. Do what you normally do. Okay, well, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Back. Get back.
Before the guests can come all the way in, Victoria waits for the dogs to calm down.
Beckham is a dog that reacts without thinking. I want Beckham to think about the situation before he reacts, so he can make a much, much better choice, which is to practice avoidance. Good boy. Good boy. Now say hello. Good boys. Good. The dogs have such a ritual of behavior. Doorbell rings, they all go crazy. Change that ritual up. Make it a different outcome, you have different dogs. We're gonna revisit this and do this again, and I'm gonna have you take charge. We're gonna get a whole beautiful ritual that happens at the door so nobody gets bitten anymore. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, good.
The following day, Victoria wants the whole family to reinforce the training for their dog's biggest issue.
I have a neighbor of yours who's gonna come and ring the doorbell. And I basically want you to take charge, okay?
First up is Ashley.
There are 6 dogs
Go back.
that have had many, many years of very negative behavior at the door when people come through. So this is gonna be hard.
Stay.
Keep at it, good.
Go back.
It takes a while,
Stay.
but the dogs eventually retreat. Now it's Hunter's turn.
Keep an eye on them too. Make them stay.
Go back. Good. Good boy.
Hunter's no-nonsense approach quickly reaps rewards.
Stay.
By the time Stacy takes over, the dogs are still barking.
Go back.
That's it, good. Nice, tell them
Good boy.
Good.
Go back. Winston, go back.
But she soon gains control and invites her guest in.
Back. Good, Beckham. I was actually pleasantly surprised that it didn't take quite as long as I had originally expected for them to finally get the hang of it.
Now you can say, good boys.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy. Good. You did it. Took a while, but they responded.
I feel like maybe they were just responding because you were standing
No,
there.
no, 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 no. I didn't have anything to do with it. You
Really?
did it.
On this episode of It's Me or the Dog, Victoria enters a household divided.
BB says no men allowed.
The Shelton family is split down the middle. The son Spencer and dad Joe have had enough, yet the women in the household cherish Junie B.
I love Junie B.
Once the kids get home, Victoria learns about Spencer's frustrations with Junie B.
My mom and my sister get this love, and we get the aggression from her, and I don't think it's fair at all.
Abby, what do you think is going on in Junie B's head?
I think some of the fault is Spencer's because he's always shooting rubber bands at her.
Tell me about these elastic bands.
Yeah, I have these rubber band guns. They just shoot little elastic bands. They don't hurt much. But I never shoot her, I just joke around. You shot her yesterday. No, I didn't. Yeah, but you did.
I feel sorry for Spencer because this was supposed to be his dog, but it's a dog that will just not allow him near her. Hey, I understand you're frustrated. Totally get it. I would be too if I was in a house with a dog that grounded me for 3 years. Try to bite me, but you're not gonna make things better.
Victoria starts off the training with a lesson on personal space.
Everybody has, I call it a space bubble around them. And you let people that you know and you love into that bubble. Dogs also have a space bubble around them. But we humans are always invading their space without being invited. And that causes so many problems, especially for a nervous dog. That's your space bubble. That's your space bubble too. Let's say you don't know me, okay? Now I want you to react like Junie B reacts when I get too close for comfort. Whoa, I'm stepping back from that. What about, Spencer, if I do this? Oh, you're such a cute little boy. Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Yeah. It's strange.
A, you haven't given me permission to come into your space. You certainly don't want to be touched by somebody who you don't know on your head. So that's what Junie B's going through, because she is having people invade her space all the time. She is having people coming up to her and smiling. Hi. What's that? That she just sees my teeth. Also, I'm staring.
When Victoria came into my bubble, just felt strange, and that I thought, no, well, why are they coming into my bubble and why are they doing this to me? I feel unsafe, and I wanted to run away.
How'd that feel?
Very intimidating.
You can make it easier for her by doing other things. First, I could approach just sort of with my side body, because that is smaller. Then I could approach like this, the look and the look away. Look away. And what you're actually doing there is you're talking dog. They avert their eyes. It's no threat. The stare is a threat. Aversion is not.
Abby and Spencer each take a turn at using the side body approach.
Fabulous. So now you can tell your friends about space, how important it is, and what they should do when they come over to your house.
One frequent visitor to the house is Spencer's friend Samuel. Victoria wants Junie B to start building some positive associations with the boys.
Spencer has in the past got very frustrated with Junie B, and I think sometimes he's taken out that frustration on her. It was important to illustrate, A, just what the world is like from Junie B's point of view, but also to say, you know, this is how you can develop a relationship. Abby, can you bring Junie B in?
Hi.
She loves food, and that's great for us because we can use it.
Victoria entices Junie B out of the safety of Abby's lap with a small piece of hot dog.
Such a good girl.
Then has the boys do the same.
And this is just building up a positive association for Junie B that, you know what, Spencer and Samuel are the source of good things, not bad things. Now, one more thing. Do you want to just lie down on the floor on your stomachs?
Like this?
Now, when I stand up, I look pretty tall from down there, don't I? Imagine living your whole life being much smaller than everybody else, having these huge, great big feet tramping past you, and you don't speak this weird person's language because you're a different species. You don't know that I'm not going to be threatening. A little daunting, huh?
A little.
Okay.
A little.
That's what Junie B goes through every day. So Spencer, when you do get frustrated with her, try and remember what the world is like from her point of view.
It was interesting to see Junie's point of view because I never thought of Junie being that small and her seeing the world around her as this, and it was an eye-opener for me.
Okay.
Thank you, Victoria.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No guns, no pointy fingers.
It's day one without Victoria, and Spencer and his friend Samuel are keen to keep up with the training.
Touch. Good girl.
Junie B is on her best behavior, and so are the boys.
Good girl. All right, that was good. See? Good job. As long as you invite her in and let her know that she's your friend, it's good. Good girl.
On this episode of It's Me or the Dog,
You have a loaded weapon on the other end of your leash. If he kills somebody, you're done for murder. And you're in jail, and that's it.
Casper is just like a registered weapon. He has the capability to kill. He's just very misbehaved. He's just the devil.
It's scary. If he gets loose, he could definitely kill me if he wants.
I'll sit down then. Eric has told me to sit down on the table and I want to follow his instructions because there are numerous instances of pracers attacking people. As if there's one wrong move, he could go for me.
Let's go.
Casper.
Day, and I can't stand it.
Casper, get over here. Whatever you do, never act scared. Sit down, drop.
Oh, dear God.
Casper.
When Casper has exhausted himself and calmed down, Victoria can take a closer look.
You bring that dog.
Hey, lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Casper's showing me a lot of signs that he's unstable. Lunging at the person, what happens if he makes contact? So what he did just to my camera person, he wasn't staring.
No,
he
I seen him. He was looking right at the camera.
He was.
It's not
okay.
visible. He's like, you could definitely pet him right now, and he'd be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I do that. Praisers are not to be fooled with. They're dangerous, and they're dangerous in the wrong hands. What really worries me is that I don't think Eric is really aware of the potential liability. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
How old was Casper when you got him?
About 8 weeks. He's a little over 2 years old now.
I'll tell you right now, I think it's highly irresponsible for a breeder to sell an 18-year-old guy Pracer Canario. You've got a fighting breed here. You've got a dog that was bred for fighting.
Yeah,
so,
natural,
you know,
right.
you've got one of the most difficult breeds to handle.
Before Victoria continues, she wants to have a serious talk with Eric.
Sit down, Eric.
All right.
So many young guys like Eric have dogs that look cool. I have to give him a reality check, just what he has at the other end of his leash. You are way, way out of your depth here. People aren't safe around you. I don't have to be with this dog for 5 minutes to know that he is reactive, and that could be dangerous. One day, he's gonna say, that's it, I'm done.
I don't think he would ever snap on me, to be honest with you. My bond with him is that strong.
You shock him enough times, believe you me, you're going the right way to make it happen. 20 years old, of course this dog's never gonna do anything to him. I know better, because I've seen it happen. Okay, Eric, come over here.
Victoria sees Casper showing signs of aggression, so she takes Eric to a local canine training facility that deals with dogs that have aggressive tendencies.
I want to introduce you to Mike here and Earl. They do specialized dog training for very hard breeds of dogs that are very aggressive or are showing tendencies to be reactive. And the reason why I wanted to bring you here is, first of all, so you could meet them and see what they do, because they're 20 minutes away from you. These guys are a resource. Training Casper could be a 6 to 8 month process to get him to a place where he's comfortable and you're comfortable with him and he's more confident. So Mike, could you tell me a little bit about what we're gonna see here?
You're gonna see what a bully breed is capable of doing. He's gonna run, he's gonna bite Earl on the arm. It's gonna look very scary.
I want to show Eric the power when a bully breed does launch themselves at somebody. I have to give him a reality check, just what he has at the other end of his leash.
She's so friendly. Why don't you give me your money?
I'm watching this pit bull launch himself at Earl. I'm thinking, you don't want a Pracer jumping up on you like that.
Tyson, come!
That is impressive.
Good boy. Gary gave the command. He just came right back to him and he was in complete control. You know, I would love for Casper to be able to be like that.
Any dog that we do this kind of work with first has to complete a whole set of classes where they basically pass the equivalent of a canine good citizen test, where they could be pet by people, be around other dogs, and interact like a safe member of society.
The key thing with his dog is that his dog is confident and very social around people. He doesn't have this reactivity as Casper does. Casper's unstable. You have a loaded weapon on the other end of your leash. If he kills somebody, you're done for murder, and your dog gets put down.
I just don't want that to happen.
It could be really tough to change this 20-year-old's mind, but there might be a little chink in the armor. Maybe a little light is getting through.
I just want you to know, and I'm sure you do know this about me already, that I'm 100% devoted to my dog and training
know
my
you're
dog.
100%
And I love my
devoted.
dog. And I
know
will
you
prove
are.
to you, I guarantee, because you're
Okay,
training
you better
me.
prove to
You're
me.
teaching me the best techniques. I will guarantee that my dog is going to be such a great trained dog. I'm going to be the ambassador for Presa Canarios.
Yeah, you better be. I just want you to keep proving because, sorry, the car, the image, the big dog, I see more in you than that.
Everybody around here judges me. Everywhere I go, people are staring at me, thinking I'm doing something wrong in this place. And that's why I was so happy to come out here and just prove to them already that my dog's better than their dog, that my dog can be trained, and that I can train my dog.
Okay, after this finishes, I'm going to be on your case all the time.
I will love
I'm
it.
going to be checking on you all the
I
time.
love it. I'm
you
so
better believe
ready
it.
to prove it.
Okay.
I'm so ready.
You better
have
do
no
it.
idea.
If Eric continues to be responsive and open to my ideas, I think we could achieve great things.
With Eric recommitted to training with Victoria, she takes on one of Casper's biggest problems.
Tell me your worries about Casper at the door when somebody rings the doorbell.
We get pizza delivery, something like that, and they'll ring the doorbell, so that right away wiles Casper up. And he'll run to the door and start barking like crazy, scratching at the glass.
So he now has a ritual and a habit of behavior. What happens if it changes? What happens? The doorbell rings, but you do nothing. Casper's very reactive when the doorbell goes. But I want to be able to train what happens when Casper does hear the doorbell and how Eric can control Casper in that situation. Don't do anything, and don't look at him.
The first step is to desensitize Casper to the sound of the doorbell by showing that Eric and Denise have no reaction to it.
Just be barking, barking. It's hard to get him to stop.
The process must be repeated again. And again. Finally, Casper starts to catch on, and Victoria can add the next step to the training.
It's important to have somebody helping me in this training, A, to ring the doorbell, but then to be that person standing behind the door so that Casper can go from seeing nobody at the door to seeing there's somebody there. Put him into a sit and stay.
Sit. Good boy. Good boy, Casper.
Okay, not too much affection, just sit and stay.
Stay. Stay, good boy. Stay. Stay. Casper, sit. Oh, you little brat. Casper, sit.
Don't see him as a brat, he's learned. All right?
No bark.
No, don't tell him to no bark, because you'll bark it back. Ignore him. He's still staying in his place, okay? Shut the door. Tell him good boy and come back and sit down.
Okay, good boy.
Nice.
Good boy.
And then it's Denise's turn.
Bring him round again, nice.
Come here.
Nice and calm, good.
Sit. Sit. Good boy. Now you stay. Stay, Casper. There's been so many times where I have to be the one to answer the door, and it's just so frustrating trying to get him to stop barking. Stay. Stay.
Eric and Denise just have to keep themselves calm, be patient, and Casper will get there.
Victoria invites Eric's friends over to help Casper work on socializing with others.
But I'd like you to interact with the way you do interact with him.
Okay.
Just, because he knows you. And then maybe I can just fine-tune a few things just to keep him a little calmer. So why don't you let him out and do what you normally do?
All right.
Okay?
When he gets excited, he wants to jump on you. He wants to play with you. It's fun, but he's a big dog. He has giant teeth. If you play with him the wrong way or touch him the wrong way, someone could really get hurt.
Eric always plays with the rope with him a lot, so that's why he's definitely into the rope with him.
But Casper shows that he still has a ways to go in his training.
You don't want to play with him.
He's getting a little excited. And you're the one now that you say, all right, Casper, come with me, okay? So walk out of the
Casper,
room. Here you
come
go,
on.
here we go.
Casper, come on. Come on.
There you go, good, nice. Nice.
Something I would like to try right now, maybe, if we
Yeah.
can. Maybe we could just sit down on the couch
Yeah.
and see if I can kind of get him to lay down.
Get him an activity toy. Put a little bit of peanut butter inside it and just see what he does.
Stay right there. Stay. Stay. Stay.
We immediately saw that Casper, was very, very obedient. Casper definitely seems a lot more well-behaved. I'm very excited to see more progress being made.
Stay. Good boy, Casper. Okay, Casper, good boy.
I love that focus on you. Casper is a great dog. I've seen a big change in him since I've been here. That bond between dog and owner is getting stronger and stronger every day. I want you to be an ambassador for the breed, because people will judge you. They will judge the way you look. They'll judge the fact that you have this big dog. But my God, will they be impressed when they see this beautifully controlled animal by your side. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Goodbye, my love. And good luck with him.
Thank you so much
Thank
again.
you.
All right, you're welcome, Eric.
Saved my life.
Hey, well, I'm really pleased to have met you. And keep proving my first judgment of you wrong, okay?
Yeah, we'll stay in contact. I'm gonna prove it to you. For sure.
All right, see you then. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. You just go outside and ring the bell, and I'll have him wait over here.
Eric has continued with the door training, and people can now come and visit in peace.
Lay down. Good boy, you stay.
Who's that? Casper has even improved his behavior with Denise.
Sit. My proudest moment with Casper is getting him to remain a little calmer when there is someone at the door, and they ring the doorbell, and we get him to sit down and just wait. Stay. Stay.
The bond between him and Denise is growing.
Stay, Casper.
To see Denise and Casper working together is fantastic.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
Hey,
Earl?
Eric. Good to see you.
Eric has started his apprenticeship with Mike and Earl
Bo, party hat. Good boy.
Good.
and is showing real potential for this program.
Nala, sit. Good girl, Nala. Good girl.
I do hope that Eric continues his apprenticeship with Mike and Earl. This is a dream for Eric, and I would love to see both Eric and Casper benefiting from this program.
Heel.
Seeing Eric and Casper make a complete 180 is a huge achievement. I'm proud and ecstatic at the progress they've both made.